Hey everybody, Superfluous Jay here with another Factorio for beginners, and today I'm starting out in the research tab. I've done some research off camera and I'm going to show it to you in a second, but I'm just going to show you what we're going to be covering here today. We're going to be covering Combat Robotics 3, which brings us the last thing that you can throw at the biters. Notice it takes distractor capsules and a speed module to make one of these things, and they're pretty powerful. And I'm basically just going to make them so that you can see them. I'm not going to use them very much. I'm not actually going to do much more biter fighting in the future, but I'm also throwing a bunch of things into here that just have a bunch of pluses, making my robots faster, my lasers better, things like that, just to get these researches out of the way. But then after we take care of the biters, I'm going to show you the logistic system today as best I can. It's not exactly what you would call a beginner topic, so I'm going to cover it in a very high end of very, very simple terms. If you want more, you're going to have to dig deeper on your own. But anyway, let's get going here. The combat robotics is going to take a little while to research, and while it does, I'm going to come up into my mall here. Notice I'm running really fast. I don't need a tank anymore. I don't need a car anymore. I am going to. I'm just owning right now, as far as this is concerned. What I need distractor capsules. Is that these guys? No, these are defenders. We need, although I think the distractor capsules take defender capsules. Yeah, distractor capsules take defender capsules, and then the one that I'm going to be making takes distractor capsules. So I'm going to make a whole bunch of distractors while I'm waiting, and it needs advanced circuits to do that. So I'm going to run around here and find where I'm keeping my advanced circuits, and I guess I'll just come over here and do it. That should be fine. Let's make all 18 of these just for the fun of it. Actually, well, oh, that's funny. They need energy shields. Oh, I'm still making energy shields from before. Okay, tell you what, while I'm waiting for that to happen, let's talk about my kit here. I've got my Power Armor Mark II, and in it I've got 2 energy shields, and I'm making more so I can swap them in and out in case I need them. I don't think I do, but if I want more than 2. I've also got a ton of lasers, and I've got a battery, and then I just threw some other stuff in here. The battery I want as an early warning system. If this thing starts getting low, I know I need to back off of the biters, because without the battery, you could lose all the charge in your lasers and your shields very quickly without realizing it, and then suddenly you're taking a whole bunch of damage. Also, these 3 legs is why I'm running really fast everywhere. Okay, we just finished the research in the destroyer capsules, and you notice for every destroyer capsule we need a speed module and 4 distractor capsules. So I'm going to run down here and grab a bunch of speed module 1s, which is what they take. And it's really nice now that I don't have to drive anywhere because now I can just and actually let's cancel. Yeah, let's cancel research on all but one of these. And then we can look at here what we need for the destroyer capsules. Yeah, it's saying we can't make them at all. Not enough ingredients. Well, I can make distractor capsules. I have speed... Oh, no, you know what? I don't have speed modules because I'm not... I put them in my logistics slots. That was dumb of me. Okay, you can turn off your logistics slots and then take stuff out of your trash. That's what I did. The stuff was here, and I just shift-clicked it out of my trash. So now I can make 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm only going to make 4, and I'm only going to make them to show them off. And then I'm never going to make them again. So let's head down here, and if you look in the map, this is what I'm concerned about, is this spider base. But I think we're going to take out all 4 of these just to get rid of them. And then we're only going to go on one more foray into biter territory to clear it out, unless I need to. and I hope I don't. That's going to be to show off all the nuclear versions of all the ammo. Uranium ammo is really powerful. It's just your ammo enriched with uranium. Then there's things like nuclear bombs and things like that. And then the last thing to show you is artillery. But anyway, here's the biters. Notice we ran over here very quickly compared to the tanks and everything. Now I'm just going to show you what it's like to take these guys on. Now, obviously, my personal laser defense is doing a great job against just the biters, but it also does a really good job against the bases as well. Now, watch. I'm just going to run in here and I'm going to stand still. I'm just running forward fast enough to get on the people, and I barely took any damage. I actually personally didn't take any damage. My shield took the damage, and my battery never even blinked at that. So let's go down and take out this bigger base. This one is a little bit more, a little bit harsher. You can get overrun. I'm not saying this is the end of the game here as far as these are concerned. But notice I'm taking very little damage, and my shield is coming back right away. But if I get too close, look at that. That really took my shield down. So you do have to back off occasionally. But as we go here, let's just work our way back into the base proper. And I'm going back and forth just to dodge most of the slime things that the biters throw. But there you go. That was that entire base gone as far as the as far as everything's concerned. I'm still making the distractors or the destroyer capsules, which is annoying. Let's go ahead and take out this last base. Doing the serpentine that I've done before. If you just go back and forth a little bit, the spitters tend to completely miss everything you do. I'm not even watching where I'm going. I'm watching whether or not where I'm going has any slime on the ground. And we're making our last little bit here of these things, and so in order to show them off, I need to take things out of my armor. We're going to take all these out. We're going to throw all the shields in there that we have, and then let's go ahead and make some destroyer capsules, or take our destroyer capsules up here. Now, we don't have any offensive weaponry in our armor. All we have is these. Sadly, it's getting to be nighttime, but if you throw them here, note how they don't do as good of a job as the laser defense that I have already put in my armor. And I have to do work. It's really annoying that I have to do work and it's not as good. This is why I don't use the capsules. They're garbage compared to the laser defense. I would have already been on my way home if I had just committed to the personal laser defense. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna obviously use this up and just let these things destroy everything. But it's just really annoying that I have to spend all this time building them. They're temporary. They go away when you're done with them, and they're not even as good as what I was using before. So that's why I've used personal laser defense and some shields for everything, because they're just better. So let me go ahead and throw actually let me throw my roboports back in there, because we're not doing any more attacking, so I might as well put my personal roboports back in, and maybe one of these laser defenses. Why not, just to have everything done. These things do last a long time. I think they last 60 seconds or something like that. They last 120 seconds, so they last 2 minutes, which is nice. So they're definitely worth it as far as that's concerned. It's just personal laser defense lasts forever, so why would you do it? Okay, so we're working on Logistic System now, which is what I want to talk about for the remainder of the episode here. And I'm heading up to the base because I'm going to actually set up construction of the Logistic System, because I Oh, my robots are starting to die. Because I'm going to be using these chests a lot. And there's 3 chests in the logistics systems. If you look at, they're all crash landing. If you look at the thing, there's 3. There's purple, blue, and green. So I'm just going to make enough of these assemblers to make them. And that's 3, obviously. And they're just each going to be the one. And they all take the same ingredients. They all take a green circuits, red circuits, and steel chests. So I need to set up underground belts here let's see, let's actually go ahead underground here, come back up here, and then that's actually good enough. That'll do it. And then everything else is going to be the same. We need to take steel chests, we need to take red circuits, we need to take green circuits, and then we need to output to a chest. And we'll output to a storage chest like we've been doing up until this point for each of these. So here we're going to output to this chest. We're going to pull in steel chests. We're going to pull in red and green circuits. Here we're going to pull in green circuits. We're going to pull in red circuits. I'll let this come out one more. We're going to pull in steel chests, and we're going to output to that chest. And like before, we need a green wire and I need to make more. And I can't make green wire because I need copper and electronic circuits. Well, let's take some copper and then take some electronic circuits. Oh, I've got my logistics on again. No, I got my logistics off. Did I not take copper? Am I just a moron and I didn't actually take any copper? I guess that's true. I didn't take any copper. Electronic circuits and copper, there we go. Let's just make 88 of these, because that's how many I want. I can never have too many of these. Where'd my chests go? Oh, they're up here. Yeah, I think I like made something that wasn't copper. There we go. Now we're starting to get some green wire. So I'm gonna wire these up, and I'm gonna copy this one here. And I'll just go paste, 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 and then I'm gonna set up the logistic filter for the chests, which I don't think I can do that because I haven't researched them yet. Yeah, I haven't researched them yet, so I can't actually do set up the chest to filter for them. So I'm gonna have to wait for this to finish, and I don't have anything else to do, so I'm going to put you on hold. Okay, I just got the research done, so they show up now. They don't show up in the exact same order. We already had passive provider and storage chests. Now we have active providers, so I'm going to put those on here. And we have buffer chests, and we have requestor chests. And these all have a function, unlike the passive provider that we've already looked at and decided wasn't really useful for anything. But I am going to put a logistic filter on here. We've already copied this so that they have 200. They're only going to put 200 in the thing each. But I'm just going to take the things out of the chest to set the logistic filter, because that's the easiest way to do it on these things. And now, anytime we don't need buffer chests, they're going to go in this buffer chest box. Buffer chests are green, as you look. However, I want a certain number of these, and I'm going to just want to throw a bunch of them in my inventory. But I can also set up requests for them, just like I did with the other boxes. And I kind of painted myself into a corner here. So I'm gonna throw request 50 and accept 100 of the purple boxes, and then the green boxes I'm gonna request 100 and accept 200. And the final boxes, the blue ones, I'm going to also request 100 and accept 200 in my inventory. I'm also going to toss some of the extra junk that I have in my inventory that I don't want, such as, that's about it really. Probably don't need this many inserters, and don't need all these distractor capsules and things like that. Okay, I'm zoomed in here to show you how serious I am. I have recorded this now, the explanation about robots, 3 times. This is my 4th. And all 3 times I threw it away because I hated it. It's a difficult subject to cover for multiple reasons. One, it's not really a beginner topic. It's an intermediate topic at best, and probably an advanced topic is a better way to describe it. I'm going to try it one more time, and I'm going to simplify a lot of things. I'm not going to convert my factory over to robots. I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm going to leave things basically the way they are. I have made a couple changes here that I'm not going to talk about too much, but I've put Requestor Chests here for the steel chests that are coming out of here, and actually I can delete that as well. If these things start making chests, robots are going to come and take chests and put them in these Requestor Chests. So to feed there, to save us sending the stuff on a belt here that snakes underground all these things. That's one of the simplifications you can do. It's a very simple thing. There's a buffer chest here holding 200 of these. If I need steel chests in my inventory, they'll take them out of this buffer chest and give them to me. If these guys, because they're requesting from buffer chests, they'll get their 2 requests in their Requestor chest to put in there. It's a simplification that makes things a little bit easier to do. The other thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to do it over here because I want to be away from the Roboport network. I don't want to connect like this is that yellow line there is connecting. I'm going to put this Roboport here, so this network is all on its own, except for some construction robots might come over here to help me build things. But other than that, we're away from everything else. And I'm going to cover what works, or sorry, not what works, but how these things work. We've got active providers. We have 2 types of providers. We have active providers and we have passive providers. We also have 2 types of storage chests. We have storage chests and we have buffer chests. And then we also have Requestor Chests. And I'm putting these things out in a somewhat random order, but and I'm actually going to put a Requestor here and a Requestor here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get rid of these because we don't need them. What I'm doing here is I'm putting these Requestor Chests so they're exactly the same distance away from the provider chests, and same thing with the storage and the buffer chest. Just so that we can see how things work here. I'm also going to put some robots. I have some logistic robots in my hands here. Construction robots, I lied. I don't have any logistic robots. Let me go pick up some logistic robots. Yeah, let's just take 7. That's like probably 6 more than we really need here. And I'm just gonna put them in this Roboport so they're sitting here waiting to go. Okay, so we have active providers and passive providers. A passive provider, what it does is, if we look here on the Roboport, if you look to the right there, it says contents of the Roboport is 7 bots. Now watch what happens when I put let's say accumulators. Let's say I put my accumulators in this provider. Now they just moved them to that thing, but ignore that for a moment. If we look at the chest now, you see the Logistic System storage has 10 of these things. That's because there's 10 in here, and this is the logistic network. This entire yellow area around the box is the logistic network. Whenever you look at a box in the logistic network, it's going to tell you everything in that logistic network. Like, for example, if we come over here, look at all the stuff underneath here that's in this logistic network. This is a pretty full logistic network. That's one of the reasons I wanted to make this thing separate. So anyway, active provider. What an active provider does, you saw that the robots came out and instantly moved those accumulators to a storage chest. That's because an active provider tries to get rid of its inventory. A passive provider merely makes the stuff in its inventory available to the network. See, it still says the system storage. It sees those 10 accumulators. Now, nobody wants accumulators right now, so the robots aren't moving them out of this chest. However, if we were to set up a logistic request on these buffer chests for accumulators, let me find the accumulators. There they are. And let's say we want 2 of them. Robot's going to come out, grab some, and put them in there. And now, notice it grabbed 3. Now, why did it grab 3 when I only wanted 2? Well, if we look at our, not achievements, bonuses, our robot cargo capacity is +2, which means that they can carry 3 items at a time because they start with 1, right? That's why they always carry the maximum amount they can. So he just said, oh, he needs some, I'll grab them and put them in there. He didn't actually think about how many to put. That's an important thing to remember. Another thing is if we let's take all the ones out of here and all the ones out of here. If we take this active provider and put them in there, notice what happened there. As soon as he got his fill, the other ones put the other ones in this storage chest because we don't need any in here, but we don't want him in here. So the robots figured, well, now that he's full, we're going to put him in here. So that's how storage chests and buffer chests interact with each other when you have a request. The last thing is requestor chests, which are a lot like buffer chests, except for they have this extra checkbox that they can request from buffer chests or not. So I can take this guy and say, I want, where are those accumulators? He wants, oh, I forgot to say okay to it. He wants, let's say 5 accumulators. And then let's actually change this guy back to wanting 1 accumulator. Or actually, we'll say he wants all 10. Now we're going to put in the passive provider chest these 10 accumulators. What the robots are going to do is they took 6 out of, or they took 6 and put them in the buffer chest, and then they put another 5 in, or they put 4 in here, and he only got 4 of his 5. He wants more. Well, that's because he doesn't have request from buffer chest turned on. If we turn that on, somebody's going to come out. Now he can take from that buffer chest. So we can affect where we get our requests from. Do we only want to get them from providers, or do we want to also get them from buffer chests? And notice he came up to try to grab more out of that buffer chest to put in that provider chest, the requester chest. Also notice if we have a request for accumulators on here, and we also have a request for accumulators on the storage chest, and we put our accumulators in this provider, they're all going to go to the, well, I'm sorry, I forgot. Let me turn off this request here. let's start over and put all the accumulators in here. They're all going to go to the buffer chest. His request is more than this request. This isn't really a request. It's just a only put this in here. Think of it that way. However, if we only request 1 of these, and then we put these guys in this provider, they're only going to put 1. They're not going to move from the passive provider to the storage because it's a passive provider. It's not saying get rid of these contents, and he's not saying I need these contents. He's merely saying if you happen to have any and you don't have anywhere to put them in me. So if we instead take these out of here and put them in the active provider, then they're going to get put in him. Even if we turn this filter off, because there's nowhere else to put them. In fact, anything we put in here is going to get put in that storage chest. Or actually, those are going to get put in me because I was actively requesting them. But if we put something that I'm not requesting, they're all going to go in the storage chest. Unless we set the filter, obviously. If we put those in here, now nobody's coming out to get them because even though he wants to get rid of them, nobody here is available to take them. The buffer chest is a requester provider, if you think about it that way. He will only get what he requests. The storage chest would get anything except for the fact that he has this filter. If we turn the filter off, now the robot's going to come up and do that. Whew. So that's how these things interact. And the reason this isn't a beginner topic is if you are a beginner, you might not see all the benefits that you can get from all those interactions. So let me just show you one very common thing that beginners can do that I do in most of my factories as well, and that is let me do that. I like these guys separated this far, and I'll also do that. Is you can make a factory without any belts, just with requester chests and passive provider chests. And what you do here is you can set up a factory, let's say to make pipes. Okay? And what we're going to do here is we're going to say he wants to make pipes. He's going to request his ingredients, and then he's going to place the pipes in the passive provider. And then we can do the same thing over here with, let's say, gears. Now, gears and pipes both need iron, and that's all they need. So if we set up this passive provider to request, this requester chest to request iron. And let's say he doesn't really need 100. Let's say he needs like 10. He wants 10 iron. Now there's no iron in the network, so let's fix that. Let's set up a storage chest here. And let's put our iron in it. Now they're going to come up here, put this in here, and these guys are going to make their ingredients and stuff them in this chest. And let me filter this chest just so it doesn't happen. Notice the robots are just going in a circle and things like that. So now let's set up another set just like these. And we'll need another power pole there. And let's get a little more down the line here. Let's find something that needs just pipes, and there we go. Steam engines. Now we don't really need a lot of steam engines, obviously, but steam engines need the things that we happen to have in the network here. Let me go grab let me turn off my logistics and grab a bunch of iron. I'm just gonna run down here and grab all this iron. Oops. Yeah, I've grabbed a lot of these too, but let's have a bunch of iron in the network so that things run for a little while. Now these guys need all of these things. Now here's a trick. You know how you can shift right click and then shift left click to copy and paste requests. I'm actually going to I'm going to turn this guy off because I don't want to make too many of these. You can also shift right click and shift left click a box to request things. So now the gears and the pipes that these guys are making are getting moved up into this box here, and they're getting put in here, and he's making steam engines. Let me way limit that because we don't want any steam engines, but this is just as the example. He's making steam engines, and we're not doing anything with belts. This is all automated, and you can make a huge array of these boxes and have them all requesting things that the other ones are making, and just build your factory that way. And there's no belts, and the robots just move. Now granted, these robots aren't doing a very good job because there aren't enough of them to fulfill the requests, but they're getting the job done. And for a mall or something like that, this could be a very good way to make a mall if you want to put the time into it. I was actually planning on putting the time into it, but I decided not to because it's quite an endeavor, and I'm more about showing you how things work than I am doing it. Than I am doing it myself, I guess is the right way to go. But notice that it requests a very specific number of these things. It has to do with how many it needs and how many it can make in a second. So if I were to take a like if we look here, this requires 450. Now that I put a yellow one in there, which is the faster guy, and then I right-clicked and left-clicked, now these need more. Because in order to keep up with this, we need more of these things in this box. So they request based on how much lead time they need, much like how these guys put extra stuff in them so that they're ready to make a new one the next time it comes up. The boxes also will request more. I don't actually want to do any of that, so I'm just going to pick all this stuff up, and we're going to move on. I also don't even. Oh, let's see. I need to turn this on to throw stuff away. I've got a whole bunch of junk in my inventory that I don't want. I don't even want those landmines anymore. Discharge defense. Definitely don't want those things. I'm not ever going to use that destroyer capsule again. Let's just admit it now. And Actually, the accumulator and the solar panels, I'm never going to do those. Definitely don't want the steam engines, those. That's good enough. Then I can pick this up, and yeah, the rest of this is actually necessary. So that's it. That's as far as it goes. Now, I am going to be talking about this more. I'm going to be using robots and the chests at the final bit here when we start doing the rocket. But as far as actually showing you anything, going out of my way to show you anything else with robots, I'm not going to do it, merely because, like I said, it's not really a beginner topic. It's intermediate at best, as I said. So that's it. That's actually it for the episode as well. Next time I'm still researching a whole bunch of this junk that we don't need, but I'm also finishing up all my research on things that go boom. And we're going to be talking about that next time. We're gonna build up some more offensively defensive structures, and we are going to take out the last bit of biters that we're probably going to face this entire series. Maybe these ones down here, maybe some over here. I'm not 100% sure yet. The ones up in this desert might be a good target as well. But we're going to talk about artillery and the nuclear weapons next time. So I hope you're looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to doing it. And after that, we've got the rocket. So we're almost done. I'm Superfluous J, and I will, as always, talk at you later.